here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
New York Podcast, live on the Evening Rush Network. Real, raw, and uncut Queens.
Hey, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Hey, y'all.
Happy Monday, everybody. How's it going?
It's going good. How's it going for you?
Everything's good. It's going.
It's going.
Oh, God.
It's
How's
going.
everybody weekend?
Good.
Eventful. I'm over it. I'm glad this is the tail end of the activities and festivities of the weekend. It's over.
Hey, Facebook user. You can't see your name, but it says Facebook user. How are you? Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, Precious is over it.
Lord.
I'm tired of looking at bananas and vanilla wafers.
Oh, you've been doing banana pudding all weekend?
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, damn.
Something like that.
So now you see how I feel. Hey, Maisha.
How
Yeah.
Why we don't have? She's subscribed to the Evening Rush. Why we don't see her name?
Sometimes because sometimes StreamYard just be doing what it wants to, and you have to give it permission all over again.
Oh, okay. Hi, Maisha.
Hey, boo.
Well, it's Monday, so you know what that means. Queens and
Monday with the Queen.
Monday with the Queens. Envy, what's going on?
This weekend wasn't a busy weekend, which was actually surprising. But I'm not complaining because I got a busy weekend this weekend. And I must say I'm all right. I've been chilling out.
I was about to say you always have a busy
You need
weekend.
that break. You need that.
Yes,
Your
absolutely.
body
That's
and
why I'm
mind.
complaining.
Your body and your mind have to get some type of rest.
Absolutely. So that's one thing I could say. I'm not going to complain at all. And I'm going to just enjoy my little time that I be having and call it a day.
That's right.
We love you too, Maisha. We have a guest.
Yes.
Hello, Miss Leslie Marshall. How are thou?
I am doing awesome. How's everyone tonight?
We're good. We thank you
I
for
got you,
joining the
Maisha.
podcast.
Thanks for joining me. I need some of that banana pudding before my diet starts.
Right.
So this you gonna really be tired of bananas and pudding and cookies.
I got you.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So please, a lot of people don't know that you are author, but I don't want to take anything away from you introducing yourself to us and everybody else.
Leslie, tell us about you.
There you go.
You want the short version or the long version?
Give us whatever you want to give us.
All right. So when I pause, you guys will be able to see it. Whatever I don't say, you can ask. Okay. So my name is Leslie T. Marshall. I am first a mother. I have to tell you guys that I'm a mother.
Okay.
That's where we get a lot of our experience from. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am in Bed-Stuy and I'm on Fulton Street. So y'all know what happens out there. If y'all hear it, this is
It's going to be a little noisy.
That's okay.
This is real, raw, and uncut. Okay?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's usually how I roll anyway. So I am a mom. I have 2 children. I'm a motivational speaker. I like to inspire wherever I go. I've never met a stranger. Anywhere I go is my forum.
Okay.
I am an author, a 2-time author, thank God. I wrote a children's book back in 2017. I wrote a children's book. It's called Mommy, Do You Work Tonight? That was about my son. It was very personal. He used to ask me every day, Mommy, do you have to work tonight? And I was like, why is this boy asking me this? And then I realized, being a young child, you don't want your mother to go to work, especially if she's a single mom. Mm-hmm. You want her to stay home, be with you. So I was inspired to write this book because it was like we had to go through this whole, every day I work 7 to 7 p.m. And so
hey, Roz,
I had to do a whole show and dance to get out the door. He would hide my badge in the freezer, my keys. I was like, boy, this boy really don't want me to go to work. So it just, showed me the importance of how much time children really want to spend with their parents.
Yeah.
So that inspired that first book. A lot of people really enjoyed it. And now have my second book. It's called If I Knew Then.
What I know now.
Love it.
That's something that everybody, I guess, can say. If they haven't said it, they will say it. If I knew then.
If I knew then what I know now.
That's right. If I knew then I wouldn't have bought that house. I wouldn't have bought that car. I wouldn't have married that man. I wouldn't have. So.
There we go. That's the book right there.
That's a beautiful cover too.
Thank you so much.
It absolutely is.
Thank you. And there's a lot of beauty comes with ashes, honey.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Beauty is not pretty as much as everybody think it is. Just
it's painful. Beauty is pain.
Yes, it is. The more beauty you see, it's been a lot of other stuff that has taken place, and God is just good enough to let that beauty come forth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's when they be like, yo, you glowing. You be like, huh? You be surprised what took me to get to where I'm at.
Right.
Hello. Say it again, girl. You can't preach on a Monday, you know.
Well, we preach every day. Anytime we do
any day of the week is the Lord's day.
Come on, somebody.
Yes, Maisha, we can see your name now.
Yes, we can see you.
We can definitely see you.
But you can any day of the week when you come on this show, and it's being that we're closing out Domestic Violence Month and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've had a bunch of different things. Like we've had another trauma mentor.
Nice.
And she came on and she was really awesome. And Tara.
Let me tell you something. And Tara just had us all in here crying. That's what happened.
We can't be telling everybody that.
We was
behind the scenes. She did.
Definitely on
I think one or two of the sessions was on screen.
Yeah. We were behind the scenes for 2 hours, and we ended up crying. So
yes.
It was many a times on screen. I was like this.
Oh, you was trying to be discreet? You was trying to be discreet. Oh my God. But behind the scenes, I must say, she had us like, whoo. She closed out in prayer. It was a good look behind the scenes.
Prayer on a Monday, and it was needed.
Listen, you got to pray every day, and
amen.
That's the bottom line. You know, prayer is the only thing that's going to get you through whatever's going on. And I just dropped a video on my Facebook page yesterday about domestic violence. I am a survivor. I don't say it proudly, but I'm proud that I'm not anymore. You know, I'm not.
You gotta say that with pride.
Well, no, I'm proud that I'm not in it anymore, but not proud that I entered into it. But you know, you live and you learn.
It's okay. I did it. I was there. Let me tell you what. Like a badge of honor. I got up out of there, so I feel happy every day. Blessed that I had the experience, so I know not to experience that again.
Right, and to pay attention to the signs, definitely.
Yes,
that's a life lesson learned.
I call it
red flag early.
Sometimes they're pink flags first, and we ignore it, and then they turn red.
Yeah, right. We try to show a little.
That was Precious,
like,
right?
Maybe I'm bugging.
Precious had white flags, and then they just turned red. There was no pink; it was just red.
It went from 0 to 100.
God bless you to get out of it.
Yes, and it also helps you not to judge, because when before that situation, I was like, she's dumb. I would never. You stupid. Da 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 da. And it's funny because life has taught me in many other things. You don't ever say never. That would never be me.
Correct.
Because you never know. And then I told somebody the other day, never tell somebody how to handle a situation that your heart is not attached to. You can suggest, you know, because it's easy for us to say, girl, you stupid. Get out of that. Girl, he's this, he's that, you know, whatever the case may be. But then when you get in it and your heart is attached, people are like, just get your stuff and leave. You're like,
it sounds simple, but it's not always that simple.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
Correct.
Yes. And domestic violence, people only think of physical violence, and it's the wounds that's emotional. That's very, very deep, and that takes a lot of, you know, a time.
Those ones last longer.
Yes, it really does.
Oh, they go in Tara.
Oh, she's on the check-in?
She just joined the watch, I think. It says.
Oh, hey, Aunt Tara. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us more about you. We get it that you're a parent. A lot of us are parents. We understand.
Not me.
Let me see the wise one.
Not yet. You're working on it. That's all right.
Yes, we sending her all those vibes. We need send her all the blessings. We send her all the blessings.
Definitely.
She's ready. She hot and ready. I'm just saying.
I'm like a Little Caesar's pizza.
Oh God.
Listen, there you go. Children are a beautiful thing, but they're a lot of work, and it's the stages that you know, as you get older, you're like, okay, now I know, okay, this is how this could have went. I loved being a parent to young children. Okay. And then I learned how to be a children to older children. And now I have adult children that don't live in my home. So I'll tell you, people with young children, enjoy it as long as you can, because I miss them. I enjoy my peace and quiet. Don't get me wrong. Right. And I enjoy not having to prepare all these meals and that kind of thing. But you do really miss them. So then, you know, my prayer changed, you know, God, show me how to be a parent to adult children and show me how to be a parent to children of this generation. Like my daughter just turned 21 yesterday, and ironically, you know, she wanted to put on this kind of dress that I might not have suggested, but we live in, you know, in 2021, and she wanted to do her thing, and she looks cute and she's really responsible. And so I think one of the hardest parts of being a mom to teens and adult children at this age is not taking your grandmother's way. Those basic principles will never go bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm big on that. But it's certain things you're going to have to stretch a little bit. Still give them your direction, but allow them to be, you know, their individual selves.
I think it more so just take patience, because my daughter just turned 19 and I'll be ready to drag her. I ain't going to even hold you. That's why I'll be like, you know what? I'll talk to you later. I even had to block her because my patience was like this small. And I was like, please don't make me go up to campus right now, please. So I said,
you were trying to get arrested on campus, huh, Envy?
Listen, girl, with the way she tried to take me there, I would have sat there, Your Honor, listen, let me tell you this. And she probably would have been like, or he would have been like, this is what these kids need. Now let me let her go home, ROR. So, you know, I just was like, let me just block her and just call it a day. And then my son was like, you really blocked her? Like a scam likely person I damn sure did. Block? Nope. And she called me on Snapchat. And then I was like, how can I help you? She was like, no, you know, you blocked me and I just wanted to speak to you. So then when I finally unblocked her, I think she just tested the number and see if I actually unblocked her.
Right.
She called me and she was like, you unblocked me? When did you unblock me? I said, hold on, wait. You still on probation. Just don't get back on block right now. That's she was right. Like, no, I'm good. So every now and again, you need to do that, or at least what?
He said, let's find out if he knows them jail terms.
I know a little something. Trust me.
No, but the mother and daughter dynamic can be kind of it can be kind of rough. But I have boys. I ain't blocking my kids now, child. They gonna need to call me now. You get on my nerves. I'm just gonna have to ignore you. But I think a lot of times the boys are a little bit smarter than the girls, because with Biscuit, I could get on his case one time. Now, you know what? Okay, you're right. I'm going in my room. He will apologize. He is very honorable. He will apologize before anything. Miss thing, she'll be like, but I didn't even do nothing. You just can't apologize.
It's just a different child. Honey, it's just a different child, too. Nah. No, because that was not me and my mother.
Oh, but that was me. I had got kind of snippy with my mom at a certain age, and my mother was like, okay, that's what you're trying to do. And she shipped me up to California for a whole year, live with my grandparents. I came back a totally different child. You hear me? Because they put me in etiquette school and everything. They wasn't playing with me.
Thank you, Maisha, because girl.
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't have any girls. I couldn't even imagine, because I know that I did try to test my mom at one point.
Don't get me wrong. We all did. We all tried to test our mom, but then I had to sit back and think like, I know I had a whole lot more sense than certain situations than these kids now. These kids I noticed on certain aspects, they have no fear for certain things. And I noticed that even within the school system, when it comes to authority, when it comes to working, a lot of times they have no fear. Then certain times you do have ones that have fear on certain situations. Don't get me wrong. Oh, everywhere I go, your kids are so respectful and they're so awesome and they're so this, as they should be. But every now and again, I might have to drag her in his house, and call her a day.
You gotta get the dragging. I'm not against
dragging. Something is nothing wrong with beating your kids.
Hey, Teresa.
There's nothing wrong with the boys. Don said his girls are never wrong. That's a whole daddy's mentality, because
that's a daddy's comment.
Yeah, my father felt the same way, and he said something's wrong with the boys. And my father felt the same way about my brother. Like something wrong with him, but ain't nothing wrong with my daughter. So you know what? That's a daddy's move. But and Maisha said we tested our parents, but not on their level. We had sense not to go beyond a certain point. That's very true.
That's right.
because all of these kids, even the boys test me. Y'all see, I put them on blast on Facebook. They just be, Leslie, if you know my kids, you'll be like, wow, these teenagers is a hot mess. I'll be like, oh, okay. Like every day is something new. But I just found out that I was being tricked every Wednesday. That's the new thing. I'm being tricked every Wednesday because Wednesdays is a half a day for them. So every Wednesday since school started, somebody was always sick. It was something. They was just like, oh, I got a headache. Oh, I don't feel well. And so I was just like, oh, okay. They like, Mom, can I stay home? I'm like, all right, you don't feel well, it's cool. But then I caught on, right? I was like, I think these kids are playing me. But I caught on like too late. They were playing me. Every week it was a kid in here, and every week it was something wrong with somebody. I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
So this Wednesday that passed, I tricked them first before they could trick me. I said, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care if your head hurt, your head not dead. I don't care. Get out.
Get out, right.
They be doing different things. It's just so weird. Kids are something else, but I do when you were to go back to what you said, I don't know if we cut you off. I hope we didn't.
No.
Okay. You said something about like loving your children in the different stages.
Yes.
I'm so in love with my kids in the teenage stage. Like I miss them as babies.
Yeah.
But the teenage stage, oh my God, just to see them grow. Like today, my oldest son, he's like 6'2.5" now. Like he's huge. So, and I'm looking up to him and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I can't believe you're so big. And it just made me so like emotional. Like it's just there. But he's also about to leave the college and now I'm having empty nest syndrome because the other one is following right behind. I'm like, okay, God, you got to give me another baby.
Well, that's why I notice now that this is why we have to have a life before they leave. Because if all you do is child, take them here, everything is them when they leave. You're like, okay, so hello, dear God, are you there? So it's a good part. I love the baby stage because I'm just a baby person, but I love watching the different stages. I have a great relationship with both of my children. My daughter, I guess, my son has a girlfriend. So once they get this little girlfriend, it's like, I'm not really a fan of that, but I'm glad he has a girlfriend.
They ain't no mama's boy no more once they got a girlfriend.
Exactly. Unless
they try though. They try to stay mama's boys, even with the girls. They try, and then you try to keep them there, but
he's never moving out. He's not going to be the 40-year-old.
He ain't got no girlfriend yet either.
That's what I told him. I said, but what if you get a wife and a girlfriend or whatever? Or she's going to live wherever she lives, and I'm going to stay here with you.
Wait till he get there.
I'm done with him.
I told him, I said, no, you're going to leave me too like your sister. He said, no, she left. I'm not going to leave you. I said, okay, so we'll see.
Boys ain't going to leave as fast. But wait till he get a girlfriend. Oh, he going to have a little different tone about how he leaving and when he leaving.
It's always a girl that makes you leave. Huh? It's either your girl that you leave or your boy finds a girl and he leaves.
Teresa, her favorite stage is the kids in the teenage stage, right? And then Maisha says she's all ears because her baby graduates in June. Correct. And she's panicking. They lose their minds once the girls is in the picture. A mama's boy will always be there because of the sacrifices made. Yeah, I do believe that.
Yeah, there'll be a mama's, but they still be getting up out of there.
Yeah, they get out. It is what it is. What you think, Leslie? Do you got your oldest child is 21 or?
My son is 25. He lives in Atlanta, and my daughter is 21.
Atlanta.
I bet you he's probably trying to get her to move down there too.
No, he told me to come like in 5 years. He gave me a time I could come in 5 because I was ready to go now.
Oh, because he'll be 30. 25.
Yeah.
Is he down there with a woman or is he just down there?
Yes, him and his girlfriend live together.
See?
Okay, he said, let me get my life together and then you can come and move down here.
Yeah. And I had to learn because people made fun of me. Like my family is from the islands, right? So I'm old-fashioned. I'm a granny's girl. If you read my book, if you know anything about me, if you go on my Facebook page, I lost my grandmother in 2017. But that's my favorite person in this whole wide world. She made me feel favorite, special. I was the oldest grandchild. So I have a lot of old lady inside of me. So when you love me, when Mr. Right comes, he's going to have to like a little bit of old-fashioned a little bit. So I went to visit them. And I feel I'm big on etiquette and manners to a certain degree.
Correct.
So when I went over there, they did cook me food, I should say. But I felt when I I felt when I walked in, they should have said, "Hey, Mom, would you like a cup of tea or something to drink?" And so it made me like, what kind of girl is this? She doesn't know to ask me, do I want a cup of tea? I didn't say it. I didn't say it. But
she's probably like, that is his mother, and she is my company.
Hello, no.
And
see, and that's the thing what I mean, because see, in my once I walk in the door, I'm like, even if I just got there, I'm like, Granny, you want a cup of tea, or you want this, you want this? So, because I'm a server, you understand? So I had to learn that, and then my girlfriend reminded me, maybe God put her there so you could be there for her. I'm like, I got my own daughter. I don't want to be there for no, but I'm just joking, but. Because I tried to tell this young lady, I said, even if my son is not a social butterfly. I'm a social butterfly. My daughter's a social butterfly. So I'm expecting her to do like I did when I dated guys. I'd be like, how you doing, Miss Such and Such? Can I get you this? Can I do this? Because I'm like, lady, you're going to need me in your corner one day, but I guess she figured she already got the son. They did cook me food. But it did make me a little attitude-ish. And I was like, you know what? I could catch a 5 o'clock flight or 1 o'clock. Can y'all take me to the airport?
She was ready to go as soon as she got there.
No, the next day I was like, all right, y'all can take me. Because I was like, this girl doesn't know to offer me a cup of tea. But the world is not built on offering you a cup of tea.
I would have never offered you a cup of tea. Maybe I might have asked you if you wanted something to drink. I wouldn't have never said you want a cup of tea.
Me nothing. As soon as
she might have been raised like that.
And that's what I found out. So the first time they come and visit me is I'm going to be a service hog. And then I'm going to say, oh, when I get to their house, I'm going to say, when y'all came to my house, okay, sorry, y'all. That's my
Shace. That's Shace. That's Carter, Leslie. That's Carter.
I see him. What's up, brother?
But you know what? I do believe that people are raised differently, because when I was raised by my grandparents, as far as like my mother raised me, but my grandparents was like, that's the epitome of the foundation for me, like on both sides of my family, like I love my grandparents more than anything in the world. And I lost my mom in 2017. That's the toughest thing ever, but we ain't gonna talk about that because these lashes will be cried off. Okay, I had to take some pictures today. That's the only reason why I made up. But anyway, they taught me different type of, like, they taught me manners, and so it's very hard for me, like, when I see people and young people with their mother-in-laws or anybody, if you're dating a guy, you do want to make sure that you and the mom kind of like have a good relationship, because a bad in-law situation is not what you want.
No, it's not
whatsoever. Like I don't have a bad in-law situation, thank God, but I'm very respectful. But I wouldn't have offered you tea though. I would have.
Well, what would you have offered me the first time in your home?
I would have offered you a meal and something to drink. I'd have been like,
if you would have walked in, I'd be like, are you thirsty? Now, if you would have asked for tea, then I would have given you tea, but I wouldn't initially said, do you want some tea? I might have, are you thirsty? Is there something I can get you?
So you guys know.
But we're older. We're older too.
We're all different, and I'm learning that. And that's one big thing that I'm working on myself. And my best friend tells me to get out of your mind, because I expect people to do what I would do for them. And I would say that is a character flaw of mine, because if I look out for you, it's just automatic. I'm thinking, but you're right. Everybody doesn't think like that. So what did he say?
I would offer you some water from the tap. Ain't nothing like tap water.
He's a liar, because I've been treated like royalty when I went to his house. So that's not true. So no, I get it, and I'm learning, but it's just like you said, everybody wasn't raised the way we were raised. And I think that's important, especially in dating. I saw someone leave a Facebook post today, and it said, we're so caught up in looking for financial stability. Sometimes we don't know this person's mental state, their emotional state, the scars that they hold. And so we're like, oh, girl, he got money. He's got money, but he's a freaking lunatic. He's a narcissist. You know?
The house of horrors.
Yes, he's got a heavy hand. And I don't mean in the bedroom. Yes.
You be living in a house of horrors. That they know the house of horrors, and you can look pretty on the outside.
But I'm living in the house of horrors.
It's absolutely true. And y'all was speaking of domestic violence earlier, and that was the thing with my children's father. People would look at us because we looked really nice, and he had a lot of fancy cars, and people saw us going to nice restaurants and us going out, but we would just have these big blow ups, and back then I learned that it's so funny. People are looking, watching, and envying, and they don't know the whole argument that I just got cursed out. I was telling somebody today, he was so sick that at one point I was a 5'6". Yes, y'all, I was a size 5'6".
Okay.
So he was having, and he just was a jealous fool, which I learned later is they act like that because of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I didn't know that at the time. I'm still learning, getting the experience. And one of his friends, I went to a wedding one day and I had on a really nice fitting dress. I mean, while you have the body, you got to show it, right?
Amen.
So, it ain't gonna be here all the time.
Amen.
So, and I went out and I looked really nice. And now I was telling a friend today, I said, you know what? He probably was lying, but he came to my house and it was always coming to my house with the crap. He was like, you know what? Somebody told me, he was country because he was from the South. He was like, somebody told me today they saw you and you had on this tight ass dress. Go and put on that dress. I want to see how you looking in that. And I'm like a fool young. I'm like, he's such an idiot. But I still want to put on the dress, right? To show him. But the last time he did something like that, I was like, I'm not putting on nothing. You want to fight? Let's just fight because I'm not doing this dumb crap no more. But the things that I'm serious. He was a psycho. He was psycho. He was psycho. I came in my house one day and I was tiny and he was big, 6'5", big dude. And I came in my house one day. He's hiding under my son's crib to see if I was having company. I'm like, the worst thing I could have did was give this man a key to my house. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's just psychos out there.
Half your body is outside of the crib, mister. What are we doing here?
Acting crazy. That's exactly what he's doing. What you said, Shay?
Shay said he don't know all your dresses are fitted. Okay, Shay, let us know. Let us know.
Don't listen to him because he calls me the old lady, y'all. So don't listen to him because he calls me the old lady. So please do not listen to him.
Well, Shay knows something we don't know. That's right, Shay.
Oh my Lord.
Let me call the real Miss C right now.
Don't say it's always the big dudes being insecure.
You ain't
No. He wasn't insecure because of that. He was insecure because of his upbringing and what he was doing. The lifestyle he was living had him very insecure.
Okay, all right. So I won't bring that tone. All right, big brother Shice.
But I think a lot of times they do be insecure and we just be more so blinded by it because Lord no, I dated somebody, he was the baddest in the streets, all kind of tatted up. But now, why you want to fight me for? Why you upset? I'm getting my nails in my hair and my feet done. Something you met me as is something that I normally been doing.
Because they don't want nobody else to want you.
And that's exactly what it was. And he was the baddest in the street, and you want to fight me. So insecure, so, how can you put it? When I say low self-esteem and so self-centered, it literally made no sense. It had my whole house in an uproar, and you don't realize it until after the fact when you remove yourself from the situation. It just was just crazy, like unnecessary everything. It wasn't even just drama. It was just more so like the tension. And when I say I'm big on energy now, it's more so because you done been through certain situations to pay attention to certain things.
It's
and
true.
Now you be like, you know what? This done rub me the wrong way. Right. And then you get older and then life changes you anyway. So at the end of the day, you be like, okay, this is not what I'm doing. I don't have to deal with it, and I'm not going to deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? But it takes you going through certain situations, and like how you mentioned, you wish you hadn't dealt with being a person in domestic violence. But unfortunately, and like I was telling someone the other day, everything that's supposed to happen is going to happen. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if it wouldn't have had happened, if you don't know what could have happened, throughout your life. Like you're able to guide somebody, you're able to direct somebody. Listen, this is the signs. Pay attention to that. You understand what I'm saying? Every life lesson learned is another lesson or another teaching for somebody else. So that's what I say.
You go through make you who you are.
I strongly believe that. I tell everybody that there's if you guys read the book, If I Knew Then, there is healing and exposure. That's one of my biggest lines because, you know, I love TikTok for the fact that a lot of people are able to clear their heads and say things that they wouldn't say on a normal platform. I had shared a personal story on TikTok. I did a story time. See, I'm not that old, but I did a little story time, and it was about a sensitive subject about abuse. You know, when family members try to abuse, it wasn't somebody attempted, but they didn't succeed. But anyway, you would see I had over 80 something views and all hundreds of thousands of comments, and people's like, I'm just taking it to my grave. I can't tell anybody. My mother never believed me. She said I was lying, you know, and the stories, it brought tears to my eye. And like my friend's daughter posted it in the night. And when I woke up the next day, when I woke up the next day and I said, wait a minute.
You went viral.
I said, wait a minute. I went viral.
And mind you, look at it. You gave a real life conversation, a real life experience. You had clothes on and you wasn't shaking your tail. You see how the difference of a message could be? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? But before we go further, we're going to pay some bills. If y'all don't already, this is Miss Leslie T. Marshall. She is the author of If I Knew Then. If I Knew Then. Yes, there you go. If I Knew Then. She is also a Brooklyn resident. She is a Brooklynite as well. If you don't already, follow us on Envious Creations, Rainbow Refreshers, 360 Photos. We got to get on her case because the year is almost over, so we got to get that going.
Yeah, I'm about as soon as that machine is up and running, I'm throwing the party. Just
we outside, right? Definitely follow us on Queens of NYC Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. No special asterisk. Not one word. It's one word on Instagram, but as y'all know how to do it on Facebook. But we're gonna run this commercial. If you want to know how to do about a podcast, this is how you go about it.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
What's up, y'all? Your boy Shice, Mr. Talk of the Town, letting you know now the Evening Rush Network now has the app. So catch it on the Google Play and the App Store. And you can catch all your podcasts like The Evening Rush, Let's Talk Crazy, The Queens of NYC, Sex, Love, and Alcohol, Plug, TL Mac Fitness, I Am Nicole Clara, On Everything, and Getting to the Focus, and the barbershops and mics. That's right, all your favorite podcasts all in one place at the Evening Rush Network app. That's right, so catch all your favorite shows. What are you waiting for? Download it now.
And that's right. What are you waiting on? Download it now. We are in the Apple Play Store and in the Google Play Store. The Evening Rush Network. Every show that is aired on the Evening Rush platform is already on there. We have about 10, 11 shows. Every show that every show that they have done is already on the app, whether it was pre-recorded, whether it's an old show. We haven't did live yet on the app just yet, but we're gonna work on that as well. But you do know we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and the eveningrushnetwork.com. If you don't already, go ahead to YouTube and definitely subscribe and follow us. Once again, we have Miss Leslie Marshall, author of If I Knew Then. What made you pick that type of topic? Yeah, I mean, what is it?
Title. Yes. So one day, you guys got to check out the reviews on Amazon, right? So this story was really just to encourage people. And I want to tell all of you who's procrastinating, because I like to read what they're saying. That looks really good.
All right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Because it's small, my end.
Right. We all had to go like this.
I'm like, wait, right?
Aretha went in. I was like, wait, hold on.
Aretha was like, wait a minute. I'm into this kind of stuff. Like 20 years of my life. Her second husband. Of my life with my second husband, and that man did everything he could to destroy me and my self-esteem, my self-worth. But you're right. You get older and you say that this shit is not for me, that you have 3 kids. My mentality was that kids grow up as soon as they grown, I'm gone. And that's what I did. Stupid. I know you're stupid. I know, but I am now because of what I went through. You know, that shit till he was raised, he saw his dad be abusive to his mother.
Correct. We get what you're saying, but definitely a lot of times they have traits, and a lot of times they be in denial of it, and then sometimes they just be angry within themselves, and that's why they display the abusive behavior. And a lot of times it doesn't even have to be abusive. It could be verbal, it can be mental. People tear you down in different ways, and you don't even realize it until after the fact, or until you realize, you know what, damn, it's just too much.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't always have to be fighting. I know I got tired of fighting. I was like, yo, what are we fighting for? You mad about what? And then a lot of times it be your own partner that you be with that be jealous of you. I remember I had bought me a new truck. Homeboy had an attitude for a whole week, try to flatten my tires. I was like, what did the truck do to you? So, I try to run his ass over, but that's neither here nor there. But he took me there. But my thing is, why? A lot of times, and a lot of times I notice us as women, when we have good intentions on doing right by people in a relationship, wherever they lack at, we always try to encourage. It doesn't have to be financially. It can always be, well, why don't you try this if this is not working? If that job is not working for you, why don't you apply for another job? You understand what I'm saying? I notice a lot of women do that, and that's where it's supposed to be. In my opinion, it's supposed to be balanced, because just as well as your man seeing you come home stressed from work, his suggestion should be like, well, babe, maybe it should be time for a new job. Well, babe, you're always stressed from dealing with this type of this, that, and the third situation. Why don't you remove yourself? Or those friends for you always bringing problems, and they're always causing havoc. Why don't you remove yourself? That's where you're supposed to find balance at. And a lot of times people don't realize they will be more toxic in a relationship than not in a relationship. And that's the sad part. You be draining yourself out. You be like, damn, why I'm losing so much weight? And you trying to figure it out, but everybody else saying, girl, you look good, you losing weight. You like, girl, thank you, but I ain't trying this time. Or you, and I remember sometimes I hear for it. I remember one time I ain't had no edges. I was like, hold on, we is not doing that. We is not gonna do that. I'm sorry. But stress plays a very big part on your body, on your mental, just everything. You understand what I'm saying? So if you realize you're stressed and you have no appetite for whatever reason, then you got to figure out, okay, what's going on for me not to have an appetite? Who's around me all the time and I just don't feel hungry? You understand what I'm saying? It's always something that you can, it's all about paying attention to your body and your environment.
That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. And I want you guys, when you get a chance and you get to read the book is not only about domestic violence. It's about forgiveness. It's about growing up in East New York in the 80s. My mother sending me to Florida to live with my grandmother. Forgiveness. It's about family experiences. My father was a little abusive too. So it just goes on and it continues. And then,
tell them where they can find your book at.
My book is on Amazon. If you live in Brooklyn, you can come get it from me. But I prefer if you go to Amazon. Of course, we want to keep it relevant. And I don't tell people, I don't push people to buy my book. I don't beg people to buy my book. But when I went to Amazon and I saw the reviews, or I saw people and told me they read the book in a day, I'm like, wow. They like, girl, this was my story. One church group, because I also do like, we were going through the pandemic. So I do Zooms with book clubs, and people are like crying. And I'm like, oh, you made me feel so good. Like, I want Tyler, I want Spike, I want Oprah, somebody to pick it up. I want a movie, but when you meet people individually, you pray that you get to higher heights. But if you're just making a difference in little places, it's a big difference. And I just, like you said earlier, I don't regret that I went through it. But when I say my regret is I saw that this man was a trap. And I was like, I could probably change him, because he was Southern. I was from New York. His mother was like, oh, you from New York. You want a man all to yourself. And I was like, like what? Don't they want that everywhere?
Right.
Right. What? What you trying to say? The women in the South, they don't care if they man cheat?
That's what she said. That's what she basically said.
Yes, it's available on Kindle. Somebody just asked.
I gotta turn my volume up because I need to hear that again. What?
No, his mother, she's very country, sad to say, but she loved her son, child. She went to jail and everything for her son. I had to put him in jail like 3 times. Let me tell y'all how this man was. And if somebody has thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you have the time, go to my Facebook page today. I just left a really 1-minute message about domestic violence. And look at this person. The same thing he did to me. He came to my job. People were scared to stand next to me because he don't know he could bust in the job at every moment. You're like, I ain't this fine. What is wrong with this man? You know?
Yeah,
like,
what's wrong with you?
I know. I love Shice. You see him. I need to push my book. That's why I miss him in my life. But let me tell you something. I'm telling you, and I started this book 17 years ago, and more things had to happen. And don't think because I wrote this book, I do need to push my book more. He said it, but I'm still living. I'm still learning. I got out of a physically domestic violence situation and got into a mental one that I didn't even know what the word narcissist was until I broke up with one. And I'm like, whoa, what did I just go through?
Right.
So let me tell you something. I pray that God blesses me because I want to be a philanthropist and I want to give. I got like a bunch of bags over here. I got a few women coming to my house. We're going to pack bags for the homeless. I believe going out and blessing people less fortunate, however you can. You know, when you go to the light and they ask for $1, I like to pass them a little gift bag during this. And they be like, oh my God, excited. But my point let me tell you what he did to me. The first time he ever hit me, I'm going to keep this.
Teresa said mine went to jail multiple times. You speak in my life.
Girl, that's what people tell me.
Tremendously.
And this is the reason why we have to share, because we have such similar stories. People look at the hair, the makeup, the way the clothes. Oh, are you crazy? I've been through hell and back.
Correct.
I just know how to make it look good. So the first time he hit me, I gave him a key to my apartment. Let me tell y'all, I'm not trying to save nobody, but when I tell y'all, I knew better. He should have never had a key to my apartment. And that was the thing I did. That was my apartment. If he loved me, we would have been buying a house somewhere. He had the money, but he was looking for another place to shack up. But I was young. So I gave him a key to my apartment. The very day I went to work that night. And I remember my boss, I had on a really nice, cute outfit. And he said, I want to drop you to work. And I said, no, I'll drop myself. My sister's going to keep my car. He was like, I said, I want to drop you to work. I said, I'm driving. I was working at the newspaper at the time. I get there to the newspaper place. Who's sitting in the parking lot? I'm like, this man is a sicko.
Oh, so he was a stalker.
One thing I learned about him, though, you can't show fear. You know, you learn later. Now I'll kill his behind. But anyway, I go there. I'm like, what is it? But I'm hesitant to go to the car. I had on a really cute dress. He took a Heineken bottle and flinged it on my dress. And it made me cry because I was like, he messed up my dress. I wanted to look cute for work. So I go inside and my boss is like, Leslie, he's going to hit you. I said, no. He's not that type. He'd never do something like that. Right. So the next day I give him the key because he smooths over. He goes in. Y'all are not from Florida, but there's something called Black Beach Weekend. And everybody goes down. They have the cars. It's like Myrtle Beach. Back in the days, you drive down.
Like bike weekend.
Yes, the cars go really slow. The girls have naked. I went to have a good time. I wasn't like them girls, but I still had a really good time.
Right.
So I took a lot of pictures. I love taking pictures to this day. Everybody could tell you. So he went digging in my closet where I had pictures way before I ever was dating him. This picture had nothing to do with our relationship. So I come home and I'm like showing him the pictures because I see he has an attitude about something. I'm like, what's wrong? So I'm like, well, let me show him these pictures. To me, if I was doing something, I wouldn't be showing you the pictures. Girl, I go to show this man these pictures. He takes them and crumple up in my hand. And I'm like, what are you doing? This is before cell phones and all of that. So we still develop pictures. Lord, I'm aging myself.
Right.
Next thing the man said.
We open up to know what pictures are.
Thank you.
He's like, he asked me, who's this guy? Who he names a name. I'm like, I'm so friendly. I know the whole damn word. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. All I heard was boom in my mouth, right? And I'm like, he had on 3 gold rings, so it scratched my face. Oh, God. But it shocked the hell out of me because I'm not this type of person. This is not my makeup. This is not what I do. I'm like, what the hell at that moment, right? My son was little. My son was a baby, but I knew he wasn't going to hurt his son. So I just was looking at my keys on the. I'm telling you, I call this my Tina Turner. I'm looking. I'm like, I got to get them keys and I got to get to that damn door. He pushes me down in a chair. I'm like, what is your problem? What are you doing? He's like, look at your breasts in this picture. You must have been breastfeeding. So my son, y'all, people will not believe it. And I
believe it.
What? Because you're like crying, but you're like, what happened? But this is the catch-up. So I jump down the stairs. I grab my keys. I get the hell out of there because I'm like, oh, no, I ain't dying tonight. I don't know how these girls live with this year after year, but this is
Right, exactly.
But I'm not gonna lie, there was other times, but it wasn't that serious. But enough is enough. But anyway, girl, I ran out the house. I heard him say, Leslie. And I called my mother collect on the phone, but they didn't answer. But my point is, and I went into this restaurant. I was like, can I have a bag of ice? They didn't give it to me. You know, to that day that bar is closed down, right? They was like, we don't have ice. I'm like, a bar don't have no damn ice. But the next
at the bar,
morning,
you ain't got no ice.
Girl,
they
I was so scared. Them white folks did me like that. Girl, do you know? This is no lie, y'all. I went back in the house like an hour later because I'm like, I got to get to my son because I get up there. I seen him driving all around. He had a really fancy car. This one, he was driving a beige Mercedes that night, and it was a convertible. The top was down. And I said, let me just go home, and I got home. This man put $5,000 on the counter. He said, you see what you made me do? Just go ahead and call them crackers on me and just come bail me out.
What?
The power of manipulation.
Correct.
So I'm standing there like this. Wait, what? Wait.
So you want me to call the cops for me to...
want me to bail you out, right?
And then you think I'm gonna use this $5,000 to bail your ass out.
Y'all ain't even hear the best of it. The next morning, he went and bought me aloe vera and vitamin E to clear up my mark. Because he's used to this. This is his normal.
That's what he's used to. That's
his MO.
So that's something he's been doing, and he knows how to fix it up or whatever.
And God don't like ugly, because yes, he's had like 2 or 3 strokes, could even wipe his own behind. I'm not laughing at him, but oh well, I'm sorry. So sorry.
People create their own karma, and I always say that.
That's a good statement, Envy.
People create their own karma, just like a lot of times, situation, if you allow certain things to happen, it's going to continue. What you allow will continue. Sadly, because my thing is, had you stayed in that situation, it would have continued. Of course, it would have definitely excelled. It would have got worse. There's no telling what could have happened.
Right, I'm not here pretending that I left that next day, y'all. There was another year. We went to Jamaica. He promised me he's gonna get his life right. I got a daughter, and then I said, "Oh hell no, my daughter can't witness this. We are out of here." And that's when I left.
I've noticed a lot of times women say that. Like, it's like when they have girls, and they're like, my daughter can't witness this shit. My daughter can't witness this, and that is usually their turning point. Yeah. A lot of women I've heard say that. I'm like, damn.
And I was glad. My son doesn't remember it either. Say that again.
Dawn said, "Are they his kids?"
Yeah, they are his kids, but unfortunately, he was the type of man that said, because I'm not sleeping with him. Once I cut him off, because he had women, and it was other factors. And I said, this is not the kind of lifestyle I want. So I removed myself from the situation. I said, if you get your life together, I'm here for it. But he wanted me more to come on his side. So I matured. He didn't. He was older in age. Oh, by the way, y'all, he was 8 years older than me. So that says a lot too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mine too. 8 years.
Yeah, it was 8 years older than me. Yeah, and I didn't know. I mean, I would get off of work. He'd be outside waiting for me to take me home. So you're like, oh, he loves me.
Yeah,
he's on time.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, and I am, and I'll tell y'all, I am a person, I'm simple to love. I have my heart, tough parts, I'm sure, but if you're my man, my husband, I'm taking care of you. I just only ask the same, but I'm not going to be giving you 1,000%, and you out here spreading yourself all thin through all other women.
Correct.
So it was that, and then he was dealing, and then when I saw the quality of the women he was dealing with, I said, what the hell? This man want to put me in a grave 6 feet under with some disease they can't get rid of? So I said, I'm out of here. And that was it. I was like, nah.
But and I noticed that too. A lot of times when they controlling at home, the women don't even be the type of women they be cheating with. You be like, yo, you serious? This is the type of person. But I noticed that like even,
You be like, that's who you was cheating on me with?
So can I make y'all laugh? Nobody likes to cheat on me because my name is Detective Gadget. I should have been a detective. My mother always said, I don't know. I figured out his phone code. I was like, oh, we're going to get out of this real easy. All I need to hear is, oh, who? Oh, I'm out of here. And I was like, and I heard that he's a cocky son of a bee. I already know that. So I was like, hold up, let me check this man. All you got to do is put in his birthday because he ain't going to think to put nobody else but his cocky self. I heard these messages, and I'm telling y'all on my sister's grave. I heard with my best friends. At the time, we used to do 3-way. I'd be like, y'all, shut up. Let's check the messages, right? Yes, I'm sorry, y'all. I have my moment. me and my girlfriends, I'd be like, y'all, hurry up. Yeah, let's check it. So I would try to call him so he wouldn't answer because we needed to get to the voicemail. And so I would have my friends. I'm like, oh, he answered. Y'all hang up and call back. So then we call back, and I said, don't press pound because we needed to stay new.
Oh no!
She had the whole system.
That's right. And this is what we
the whole message?
Oh, I listen to the whole thing, but you got to press pound so it can stay new. You can't press like 9 to save it or 7. Y'all, come on, I can't tell you. This was 20-year-old.
You can't tell you all the secrets.
So listen, I ain't going through this no more. I'm 48, and if I got to go through that, we don't even need to be here. But
exactly.
So I be like, but I like facts, because when you have a liar, you have to have facts. So they will lie to you no matter what you saw, what you heard. You be like, wait, did I hear that? Maybe I did. I heard grown women on the phone crying. Thank you for saying you've been there, so I'm not alone. I heard grown women say it. I'm sleeping with your blanket. I miss you. I ain't seen you in a week, and your smell is going off the blanket. I'm like, what the hell?
Wow.
What?
You know,
I heard all kind of stuff, and I'd be like, and the main thing that made me leave one time, y'all ever saw the movie Ghost? And there was that tall, light-skinned man jumping through the trains with that long face.
Okay.
So I saw it one day at his mother's house. I said, are you messing with this girl? Because she's always around here. Why is she here? And I'm not a fighter. I'm not ghetto. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But I was like, Sonia, are you effing my baby's father? I said it right in front of his mother. And they was like, whoa, she must be upset. She like, nah, Les, we friends. We classmates. We went to school together.
Oh,
right?
that's the one. That's the one.
Like, no, Les.
That is the one.
I checked the voicemail, and she was like, the room is 219. Meet me at 219. And she was, no disrespect, but she was a cokehead. So I don't know what she was doing to get that coke. And I was like, no, they trying to kill me. So I said, you know what? When he called my phone, I said, do me a favor. Go to 219, chill with Sonia, and we'll see you, you know, whatever. And that was it. And I left because I said, no, he's trying to kill me. That girl looked like the character from Ghost. She looked just like that man that was jumping the trains. And I said, oh, no, that's a sign from God. I got to go.
I'm out. And I'm out.
You knew when you had enough. That's the thing. You understand what I'm saying? We know when we had enough, because even like with my situation with my ex, when kept playing. When I realized, I was like, hold up. The same chick you was cool with is the same chick you with. She the same age as your daughter. What's going on here? I have a whole problem with the situation. I was like, you know what? I'm good. And it still got
wait. And B, this man was older than you.
He was older than me, correct?
Wow.
Okay, because you just said the same age as your daughter. I'm like, well, what?
My Lord.
His daughter at the time was like 26, maybe 25, 26. And he was dating, and at the time he was like 47. And I was in my early 30s. So my thing is, you ain't got no business with her. Y'all shouldn't even have the same type of conversations to conversate about. But okay, to each his own. And I told her, because I had asked her. She was like, no, we just cool, this, that, and the third. He lied and everything, said she was a whole lesbian and this, that, and third.
Wow.
No, we're living together. And I told him, I said, listen, if y'all gonna be together, please know he has a hand problem. No, I got brothers. I'm good. I'm loyal. I'm not out there doing what I want to do like you. No problem. Okay. And sure enough,
I'm not out there doing what I want to do like you.
I know they was definitely fighting and everything too. He has a pattern. He's a continuous abuser. Whatever's going on, I just wish him the best.
That's all you could say. And when you have younger siblings watching you, like I know I hurt my mom and because everybody was looking like your character's changing being around this type of person, because now you have to adapt to this sick lifestyle. Correct. And one of my little brothers was walking down the street with a knife when he heard, he put his hands on my sister, because we don't do this type of stuff. So It was like, now I was like, the Bible says not to cast your pearls before swine, and there's consequences, that you start to smell like the pig pen. My vocabulary changed. I was mother after this, mother after that, mother after that. Something slipped, I'm a cusser, but I'm not going to just walk around mother effer and cursing people. But it was because what was going on in my lifestyle, it was coming out of my pores.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Ridiculous.
Correct. So with your book, what would you say? What would you suggest? Because I noticed on the back of it, it says domestic violence, molestation, childhood trauma, and more. What would you say would be like the main go-getter or the eye catcher, or the attention seeker, like, oh my God, I gotta really finish reading this, like, this is good? Like, what would you say in the book would be like the best part?
I can't say, because so many people told me different parts. I tried to put good stuff in every chapter. I'm not just saying it because it's me. If you read the book, you buy it, you don't like it, call me, I'll come get my book, honey. I will come and get my book. But I have to say, the book is really good. I had people tell me they read this book in a day. I'm like, you're lying. Tell me what it was about. Because I'm like, all right, go Leslie. because it really is just a bunch. The best thing people tell me is they can relate to it because some of this has happened.
And I think that's what I was going to say is whatever the best part of the book is probably the most relatable part of the book for someone. Whatever they can relate to, they're going to be like,
y'all, I gotta save this. I can't tell y'all, but my kid's father took me to have an abortion, and I'm gonna leave it there. That's one of the a lot of people told me they cried, when they read that part. Mm-hmm. And it's just the fact of loving yourself enough. And sometimes when people call me on different things to talk about the book, I'm like, I don't even read it and open it because I lived it. It's nothing false. The character's name is Symphony, and I picked Symphony because I love music. I'm a music person. If I have music on, whatever I'm doing, it's going to be great. Whether it's making love, cleaning the house, cooking, driving, music makes everything better for me. I grew up on slow jams on BLS 98.7, so I'm a slow
real music
jam person. Real music.
Real stuff.
I love music. And so I made the character's name Symphony, but I just really wanted to encourage people because my biggest thing when I meet people, even on a daily basis, my prayer is, Lord, help me to bless someone with what I've been through so that the devil doesn't get the glory of it. So I can't tell you, I never robbed a bank, but I've done stuff that I could have been incarcerated. This Negro did not have a 9 to 5, okay? This Negro did not have a 9 to 5. So when you read this book, read in between the lines. And
clearly he didn't have a 9 to 5. He was always at your job.
Girl, no, that was just the beginning to get you. Listen, they have a hook line to get you. But the thing about it is, I'm not gonna lie to you, because when I looked, I was like, Dad, why do us nice girls really like these type of guys? Like, but I like you to have a little street credibility, but I still love a
little edge. I don't want no cornball.
No, I don't want a cornball, but I need a gentleman.
I need somebody with a little bit of edge. You ain't gotta have a
Thank
I don't need you to have a whole lot of street credit. I don't
just got his copy.
I appreciate that. Tell me where we can meet so I can sign these books, because I love to meet people. I love to talk about the book. And I just tell people, if you have a story, tell it. And my grandmother used to say, oh, you tell these kids too much. I tell my kids everything, because I said, if you go out, you know what I did? And I'm not trying to gross anybody out. When I knew my kids was getting of the age to have sex, I took pictures of STDs and sent it to their phones. I said, oh, if she wants you to, I call it a patty cake.
This isn't gross. First of all, if they have health class, that's what the hell they show you. That's what they show you in health class. They just be like, this is a regular genitalia. This is genitalia with chlamydia or gonorrhea.
The youth now in class, they play all day, so they're not even paying attention to instruction. They're dirty. That's all they're doing.
They definitely not taking it serious.
They're not taking it right.
So you gotta do more stuff than the health class. You got really.
I don't think they have health class anymore. I don't even know, but I haven't heard of it.
They should still have health class, and they should still have what the hell was the other goddamn shit? What was the other goddamn class where they told you how to iron?
Oh, they told you how to iron. Home economics.
Home economics.
Home ec.
They don't have that.
No, they don't.
They don't have that.
No, you should say health class isn't the same no more. I'm pretty
sure. They're not having it because you could pay to get everything done. So nobody wants to be domestic. And that's one of my dreams. I really just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I know it sounds corny, y'all. Take care of my children. Work if I have.
Why does that sound corny?
Because I really believe not to be old-fashioned. That's why the home is slipping away, because nobody's home to make a good hot meal. My father let us sit at the table, and I used to be jealous of the kids, and no disrespect, and that's in the book too. They used to be sitting on the stoop eating Chinese food and pizza. I'd be like, Dad, I can't stand him. He had us sitting at the table, but now I can go to any restaurant and I know how to eat with the best of them, and I don't have a problem. Even though the other day I did go on a date last year, and there was so many glasses on the table. I text my group chat, my kids, my siblings. I was like, yo, what the hell? It's like 8 glasses on the table. Right. And they was like, work your way in. And I was like, oh, shoot. But I just say that, listen, guys, everybody has good in them. Everybody has bad. My father had a little, he was a little abusive. We never went to jail, but my father was Jamaican, my stepfather, and he was a little bit too heavy on the hand, and my father hasn't spoke to me since this book come out, because they didn't want this stuff to be out. But I said, listen, people need to know that they're not the only ones that have been through this kind of situation. So
I remember you mentioning your family wasn't too happy about it. They said
some of them wasn't, because they like, but one of my sisters said, Leslie, if people want you to talk about them good, they should have treated you better.
They should do that. I say the same thing. That's a truth. If you want me to talk about you, in a positive, like you should treat me better, and me too, because I operate with everybody. I want everybody to talk about me positively. I don't want them to talk about me in a negative tone. So I treat people with so much respect and love.
That's right.
Listen, if you, no, I'm gonna say it. My mother-in-law is on my Facebook, right? Because I was married to her son, and her grandkids are my kids, and she's the best. She's the best. Like, she's the best. But if you talk about that son of hers, oh boy. Y'all gonna post today. She's gonna put I didn't even say nothing about her raggedy son, but she said him up there. But your son, if you really want me to tell it, because I was texting behind, we were texting on the phone. I said, Miss Teresa, stop trying to defend your little masterpiece. I didn't mean to say her name. Oh, but whatever. Right. Don't be trying to defend your masterpiece when your masterpiece did not masterpiece with the woman he
within
had
himself at all. Son.
Right. He wanted to. Come on. You know what he was doing to the kid. You know what it was. So if you want somebody to talk about you positively, you'll be a positive force in their life, a positive person, and you ain't.
Right.
Girl, that's the truth they don't want to hear.
Right. You're a good mother-in-law, but that son, I'm glad he's somebody else's problem, not mine.
Amen.
Oh, and this is why I say everything happens for a reason. Everything happens when it's supposed to. You understand what I'm saying?
Said they are implementing, embracing sexuality preferences according to my daughter. They are. That's what they're doing. And home and sex ed, right? Health class.
Yeah, because everything is not heterosexual anymore, and everything they have to, make everything for gender equality.
Right.
Stone Tone said, I remember those videos. Shit scared me into wearing 2 condoms in the iron. Lord, that's the truth. But yeah,
that's when you used to be in class and they would bring in the TV and you'd be like, "Oh, we about to watch a movie," and then they had the movie and you'd be like, "You know what? I don't even want to have sex."
Yeah,
right, exactly.
But somehow we all ended up having sex because it told the truth.
Girl, that's gonna be another book. And I hated to tell him one time he broke it. I didn't even want to tell. I didn't put that in the book. He broke into my house. I moved to another city, and he broke into my house. And somebody left the window open downstairs, and he snuck into the house. Anyway, he came into the house, and I called the cops. I had him arrested. He stole my diary. And I was so happy because do you know what that man? I never knew what real love making was. Sorry if y'all could say this on the show.
No,
and child,
we are not PG-13.
Oh, sorry. So listen, because y'all know I love the Lord and I don't want to go there. But child, let me tell you something. I wrote in that diary about a real love sex experience that I had when I found out what making love was, and it wasn't with that bastard. Girl, that man nearly died. He stole a diary. He got arrested for it, everything, because his fingerprints was in my window. And I said, listen, we are not together. He broke into my home. And they like, you really? I said, I don't care, kid's father or not. I want him to know you just don't enter people's house, whatever. And, but it was so funny. He said, you know what hurt me most? I don't even care that you sent me to jail. He was more sad that I had sex with somebody else. But girl, the day you find out what real love making is, child, you ain't got no time for no nonsense. You don't have time. Life is too short.
You ain't dignitized no more. That abuse, you are one. You are definitely not dignitized.
Exactly.
I told y'all on one of the shows, Leslie, you wasn't here, but on one of the shows, I told the girls, I was like, I didn't really experience the orgasm until I was going into my 30s. That says a lot for somebody who had these kids and stuff. And once I experienced that, it was all like popcorn. I was like, what?
Yeah, and it's funny because it wasn't anything bad, but I was like, whoa, thank you, Lord. You mean to tell me all the years I was with this fool?
Yes.
And you didn't even
No.
If you're going to be abusive, you got to at least be a good love maker, right?
Lord have mercy. Give me something.
Right, you got to give me a reason. A lot of times we be blinded because of that situation. You be like, well, he does do this. And he does do that. But if you can't sit out all the way, it's a problem.
Let me tell y'all something. When I was younger, I was used to say, why do older women make it seem like sex is such a big deal? I would hear women, conversations and read books. And I was like, what is it? And then when you find out, my Lord, you say, thank you, Jesus. Please send my husband. Thank you, Father. Please send my husband, Lord.
It's a different experience. Once you find out what it really is hitting. I mean, listen,
but like she said love making. It ain't just because
it's a time for everything. Don't get me wrong. There is a time for sometimes, baby. I missed you all day. It's a time for that. Okay.
I ain't doing it in the chat.
You make love with somebody that you love.
A lot of men don't know how to make love, and there is a difference. There is a big difference. And they listen to these rap songs now, and I'm like, honey, that is not it, honey. You better put on some Teddy. Okay, put on some Teddy, put on some, you better put on something and know what it's like. Because, honey, now, I never thought I would be vocal, not to change the subject, but I know now I would be like, okay, you got 2 minutes to put on your clothes and get out of here. Because we ain't about to do this crap.
I know that's right.
No, man.
That ain't it.
I'm not wasting this goodness.
No.
And you're not getting another chance, bro. Like,
that's another book. That is another book.
That's another show.
When I was younger, I would give someone a second chance. I don't have second chances to give now because I've been with the same man for 18 years.
And that's what I love it. I love it.
So, it ain't no second chances, Mister. I'd be like, look here, what are we doing tonight? What's going on?
I just don't have the patience every now and then. I notice that. Like, my patience is bare minimum. Not even just for relationships, just for people in general. Because my thing is, right, after a while, you get a certain age, you got to be like, you do know better.
Yeah.
You do know what you say.
And you should want better for me.
Correct.
And you should want,
that's what friendships, that's what relationships, intimacy. My thing is like, come on, you got to know, like, we ain't 18 and 25 and stuff no more. Certain things we could have got to pass on. Don't get me wrong, we are a lot of times mentally older than our age. Yes. Due to life experiences. But when you got age and you done had certain type of mental experiences with life teaches you, you got to be like, nah, I'm good. Enough is enough. Like,
even in the phone conversation, even when you meet somebody in the first conversation you have, you like, all right, so okay, let me go ahead and block this because we know this conversation is not going past this. You know,
when you could tell if you're gonna like somebody when you have a conversation with them, you would be like, okay, no. When you text with someone and all of their words are wrong, you be like,
Even friendships, when you meet ladies and women, you be like, all right, she's going to be in my circle. She's going to be a lifelong friend. I know because we've experienced it. And that's what I try to tell my daughter. Like, you know, she got her own place. She's paying her own bills, car insurance. I'm very extremely proud of her. But she's like me. She's a friendly person. I say, Diamond, be very careful. I used to work for Delta. And I heard one of her friends say, oh, I don't know. I work very hard so they can have those flying benefits. I'm not laying up with nobody and the girl said, I don't know nobody who take more flights than Diamond and her mama. And I was like, I said, Diamond, watch that because you're going to learn that everybody's not complimenting you. Sometimes they're throwing little jabs. I said, so watch this
And
girl.
I had a friend that me and her was friends for some years. Until this day, I miss conversations here or there. Friendship, I don't miss because my thing is, when you're going, a lot of people don't realize when they're going through situations and they're emotional and they're toxic, they don't realize how they tend to come off on other people. Regardless if you try to tell them, yo, bitch, chill out. It's not that serious. Or if you always complain or if they find something to critique you about all the time, but they still not together. Their household or themselves personally is not together mentally or physically. A lot of times people be upset with themselves and then they don't realize they just being shady altogether. And my thing is that's not even always called for. I did receive a couple texts. We do have a couple people that did purchase your book. A young lady, Antara, who is also a special person, and she is also a trauma coach.
Oh, and
nice. And she also she's very how can I put it, hands-on like you as well. She's very, but she's gonna tell you how it is too. Yes. So.
Oh yeah, she's lovely.
I love it.
She says she can't comment. I don't know. Maybe it's the app or maybe it's StreamYard or something that's not allowing her to comment. But she did say she purchased the book.
Oh,
Dawn has purchased the book.
They do know. Purchase the book.
Huh?
I'm gonna purchase the book.
See, so we good. We might have to do a little book club, like you mentioned, a little something.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a book. Yeah, we're gonna have Oprah's book club.
Oh God.
It's gonna be the Queen's Book Club.
The Queen's Book Club. We're gonna have to do something. But yes, we definitely appreciate you. We're gonna have to try to wrap it up. Not that we want to. We really don't have to, but we're gonna be a little nice.
We're the show after, so we're trying to be a little nice
nowadays.
Yes, we have Rails relaxation hour.
Relaxation hour.
Yes, he comes on at 9 o'clock. Same channel.
I'm definitely going to tune in, even though I feel like I don't want to be rushed on a Monday. So whatever, Rail and friends. Now I'm gonna
tune in and talk shit. Now let me stop.
We're glad you guys are on the network. We're glad you guys are here. So it gives me something to unwind after the show, and I'm definitely about to tune in. So make sure you guys who's here, make sure y'all go and check their show out. Their show come on at 9 o'clock is next on this same network. So please, support our people.
And if y'all don't already, please go and purchase Miss Marshall's book.
Yes.
If I knew then.
I sure appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I had a good time with you guys. I just want to say thank you. And I just want to tell anybody, please tell your story. We all have a story. Tell it. Don't be embarrassed. Just know who you're talking to, who deserves to hear your story. Because everything's not for everybody. And don't, people will throw it up in your face. But, I appreciate y'all.
With what you said, everything's not for everybody. Correct. But my thing is, a lot of times, certain things can be very much relatable. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Because people be quick to say, oh, well, I couldn't do this. And that's not going to happen to me. And my man is not going to put his hands on me and this, that, and the third. And those be the main ones, unfortunately, going through situations as well.
And no matter what the situation is, I just say pray, because God is the main thing that got me out of that situation. Yep. And, if it wasn't for God, I don't take it lightly, but it's not for God. It's a lot of situations, because it could have been worse. That man that I dated, a girl got on drugs. Another girl, she was met, because just situations. When I look at what they've been through, and I didn't get there, I thank God for it. So I say keep him at the head no matter what. Even if you're at your lowest stage, you still be like, God, get me out of this. And he'll get you out eventually.
What I said last week. No, not last week. What I said when Tara was here, that was at my lowest point on the ground, getting kicked in my head with a Timberland boot and spit in my face. I prayed to God. Said, God, if you get me out of here, I would never come back, and I never return. It's been 11 years. Let me tell you something.
And that's good. And
God will definitely. Leslie's face look like what? Girl, I may say it with a little bit of comedy, but the truth of the matter is, when we had that last fight, I knew it was over once you decide to kick somebody in the head with a Timberland boot and spit in their face, that is the
when you spit in somebody's face, you have no respect for them.
You know what I'm saying? Right, and I prayed to God, and I say that to everybody who I've ever told my testimony to. That was my last words. I said, God, if you get me out of here, I will never return. I have never returned. There was nothing this man could have did that made me return back. I was done. I was good, and God got me out of that. I am very grateful, very thankful. So God is definitely
me too.
Well, yes. We are glad everybody is here to tell their story, whether they have unfortunately been through a domestic violence situation. We're closing out Domestic Violence Month. It doesn't necessarily have to be this month October that we speak about it, but my thing is, if y'all have a story to tell, definitely reach out to us. And Tara also texted me. She said Prescribed Books will be inviting you to Restoring the Residence if you're interested in which is a book club.
To me?
Yes, you.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm excited. Listen, it's so funny. I thank God for y'all, because they don't know when God is using. Oh, that's cool. So sometimes how us ladies are. We have to be in the mood, right? And I did an interview here. I do a lot of motivational videos. If you go to my page, especially March, I did 31 videos in 31 days. It was crazy. Oh, wow. running. It was a lot. So I decided I'm going to start dropping just once a month. But I like to interview people. So if any of you have any interesting stories and you want to get them out there, because I want my own talk show one day, y'all. So it's going to come to pass. So if it has to be right here in my living room, I'm going to have my talk show, right? But because everybody has a story to tell, and people don't know how much I have talked, my basic self, never been in no big arena, and people have cried in the audience. Do you know what that feels like to tell your story? You like, why is she crying?
It's like a situation when you go to church and you be like, I need this word. I done had a rough week. And you
Lord Jesus, have mercy.
And you crying and you like everything that the pastor is saying and you can relate to. And they like, But why she crying? Listen, you don't understand this type of weekend.
I went to my brother's church. I call him my brother. I went to my brother's church, and the pastor was preaching, and she was like, "Come to, newcomers, come to the altar." Came to the altar, and here I am, and she was like, "You need the release." And here I am. I guess I was just so busy in my head, like, oh, whatever. Girl, she put a hand on me.
You just
girl, when I tell you, I was out there like.
Sometimes you just need that release, and I'm so happy to Envy. I don't call her that, but I'm so happy.
I know.
Today when I was getting ready, I'm like, it's a Monday night. I ain't in the mood. What am I gonna say? But the vibe was so right, so I feel so good, and I thank God that
that's us every Monday.
He could use. I'll be on.
That's us every Monday before we get on.
I'll be on. He uses you even when you don't know. Because I'm like, God, what can I say? Nobody wants to hear the same old boring story.
And that's what she said. She said, well, if you have any questions, I was like, listen, once we just start vibing and start conversating, we're not gonna worry about no questions. Nobody has questions in your life. So, you interact with everybody, and we definitely appreciate you. I want to try to get you and Antara on the same platform.
Oh my God.
Hello.
He's so awesome.
Hello, Miss Rashida. Please tell me.
So we already know that I'm a crier.
Huh?
Antara's on.
Yeah. So no, Leslie was talking. She said, please, we need to put her Facebook information.
No, Antara, she just commented. That's what I just said.
Oh, that was the lady.
Yes.
We need to.
What she said?
We need to.
I can't see.
She said, God bless you, sis.
I will reach out. This was great. You are awesome. Leslie, thanks for sharing your story. We will connect. We got to definitely connect them too. And
I'm looking forward to it.
Like to have both of them on the show one time. Just let me know. I won't have on no lashes. I won't have on no lip gloss. I won't even have on a wig, girl.
Pulled up like this, so I can blink.
When y'all talking about family hurt, get me for that one too. Because
that's you and Antara. No. We gonna be crying.
No, we're not gonna cry, but we're gonna. Well,
that would be good.
I know you said you lost your mom, and
yes.
I think that when I lost my grandmother, I saw different sides of family members that I never saw before.
Girl,
and I think
to the choir.
I see Facebook memes about it, but it's okay to love people from a distance. It's more than a thing. You gotta tear yourself, because if people keep damage you, you're gonna have nothing left. And people say, "Oh, we're family. Let's get together. It's Thanksgiving and Christmas." I'm not putting myself in these times.
But I always say this: we cannot pick and decide who our family is, but we can pick and choose how we fuck with them.
That's right.
I am the only one, for the most part, in New York. A lot of my family is down south. A lot of my family is in Florida. I have cousins here. I have cousins like a couple of blocks away, and she doesn't even know I've been living here for about 4 years. And I'm fine with that. And, my thing is, it's okay to say I have family at a distance. You understand what I'm saying? It's okay to not be bothered, because my thing is, you're not obligated. There is no drama. There is no unnecessary anything. You don't have extra bills. You don't have extra responsibilities. Just because they are family does not mean they need to be your burden. Some family means well. Don't get me wrong, because I have family that supports me, asks me how I'm doing, book me for events and everything. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. Just come pick it up. Oh, no, I'm going to pay. I'm going to support. You understand what I'm saying? There's different categories for everybody, whether they're friends, whether they're families, even if there's a boyfriend. Okay, this is my certain kind of boo, because he can provide this type of service, but I cannot marry him. You understand what I'm saying? Or this is my boo because he can do this, that, and the third for me and my family, and he's relatable, but unfortunately I cannot make him a husband. And it's the same way with men as well. They say the same thing when they see certain things in women. She's good conversation. She's good in bed. But unfortunately, I cannot make her my wife because she can't cook. Certain things we got to do a process of elimination on, and I don't feel bad. And I don't think anybody should feel bad because they are not so family oriented. I'm in a whole bubble by myself for the most part. That's why I be so hard on my kids, because not for nothing, they literally all I got. You understand what I'm saying? Whether they see it or not. But at the end of the day, your own children be your closest family too. They might stress you out. You understand what I'm saying? Even like with my daughter, she stressed me out. If I be like, listen, this is the situation, I need you to go on the next train, I know she gonna be on the next train. Ma, what happened? Even though I might have cussed her out earlier in the day, I might have even blocked her 2 weeks ago. But I know certain people are more dependable than others. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times, your biggest support will come from strangers. That's the craziest part. That actually is probably right. Too support, because a lot of times your biggest support come from strangers. Your biggest your love, from people don't even know you that because now they're not judging you.
But that happened.
I had situations when I was in temporary housing, and it was people within that situation. Your kids went to school. They already left, and I'm looking for. Thank you, I appreciate it. Everybody does not always have bad intentions by you.
No.
Some people that do have bad intentions be the ones that be the closest to you, and you got to watch your circle.
And I what I found out too is sometimes, and it took me till the last 5 years to get it. It may not be monetary gifts people are jealous of. If you have good energy and you're a people person, my sister has her doctorate, CEO, and runs schools all over the country, big money. And she told me before, she said, I was so jealous of you and my ex-husband. Y'all could walk in the room and light it up like this and everybody loves y'all. I'm an introvert. That's something I can't control. That's a natural gift God blessed me with. So if you don't like me because of that, or not like me, but even could say out your mouth, I envy that.
Right.
That tells you, like, I gotta be careful because I'm never in a competition with any of my sisters. I love you. You have a gift, you have a gift, you have a gift. Let's all use it. If you're good at this, I have a lot of women's groups. We meet right here in my living room, 5 or 10 of us. Awesome. Sometimes we pray, sometimes we laugh, and sometimes we're crying. Sometimes we have a Moscato. It's different things. I just want to have a shoulder that you can lean on, and you could call me and say, Leslie is down to earth. Let me call her. Sometimes they call me for prayer. Sometimes they call me for a ride. But I just want to be available for whatever it is, because everything is not going to be done in the church. But I had to start making myself
so available, because then people only hit you to make sure you're available.
Some people who God has them to come to you. I don't mean no users. I don't mean no users.
But that's one thing. You got to weed them out, because after a while you realize, dang, I only hear from this person. Like, for example,
when they need something.
You mentioned your sister. I have 2 biological sisters. I will not have a comment. I was in the room with one of them a couple of weeks ago and did not speak to her, did not acknowledge her.
That's so hard to me.
She hit me, hey, you got $30? Well, damn, my day was okay. Your nephew was fine. I appreciate you asking. No, have a good day. And that's how I got to carry people. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Not that be my intentions on being rough, but my thing is that's how I have to be, because that's how y'all made me be. Because when I was being so giving and so understanding, it was just, oh, okay, I can hit her up. You understand what I'm saying? I can have $1 million and I'm going to be broke for however long I decide to be.
I had to tell my mother in a nice way, because I feel myself separated. We come from a Thanksgiving or Christmas where it's 40 or 50 of us around the table. So it hurts me to not have that. But when I get around you and I'm feeling this uncomfortable feeling, that's common sense telling me you don't belong here. And my mother said, oh, well, I hope you speak. My other sister said, no, you know what, Leslie? And I said it to myself, if your life is going well without me in it, then it's time for me to stay out of it. Why would I put myself back? If you're not missing me, baby, I'm not missing you, and I'm not going to be your convenience.
Correct. Correct.
Anybody.
And that's how we got to do it.
Your convenience.
And that's it. Yes, you can definitely be my family. You're my long distance family. She has brownies on the way to Oregon. Oh my God, I definitely appreciate you and your support. Oregon, I didn't even realize how far I was until they said, well, she won't receive it until this day. And I was like, well, damn, that's a long time. Everybody else received their stuff next day, and her stuff is still in transit. I still, it's still good. I just don't want it to be all broke up. So you definitely have to let me know. But yes, and Leslie, we appreciate you. We definitely do. We're gonna try to do a part 2. We're gonna try to reach out to have you and Antara on the same platform.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
Get ready to start crying, Precious.
Girl, you gotta tell me twice. I ain't gonna have no lashes, no lip gloss, or wig on, child. Everything coming off, child.
Well, don't feel bad.
That's fine.
This might be going too, girl, and I'll be like, if my hair not done, I'm not doing nothing. But no, I'm just look. My nail was breaking off. I said, let me get a Band-Aid, because this thing, y'all so down to earth. I could have just let the nail.
You could have. It be times I'll be coming up here. You have to see me. I'll be like, because Mondays is kind of hard, man.
Monday
every week.
What I said, we all, before we get on here, we be like, you know what? I quit. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Quit every other day.
And then we get on, and then it's like, it's so hard for us to get off.
Right.
Yeah, right. We always go over the time. And like I said, if you're a viewer of this show, I'm not always glammed up either. Okay, today was just a special day.
But that's all right, because we are fabulous either way.
Y'all all look very beautiful.
Thank you. You too as well.
You know why? Because Black women matter.
Yes.
Absolutely. We appreciate you.
I forgot to put on my Queens of NYC shirt and everything. It was just a lot.
I got on mine, so it's fine.
I know.
Right, I had mine on last week. Envy has hers on this week. You can wear yours next week.
There you go. Right? But we thank you. If you don't already, everybody, and also you too, Leslie, please follow us on our apps. You know, if you have an iPhone, then follow us on the Evening Rush on Apple, the Evening Rush in the Google Play Store as well. Also follow our business pages, Rainbow Refreshers, Envious Creation, and Queens of NYC Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. We appreciate you. We are going to close out. Next week going to be a little bit spicy. It's going to be a little nasty. It's going to be a little bit spicy. This one y'all got to be ready for. We had to tone it down a little bit because you know,
I don't know if they're ready for next week.
We had to get ready for that topic. Yes, but when I post it, or once one of us post it, trust me, y'all will definitely be ready. Please stand by.
Envy will be posting it. I don't even know if I want to repost it. Look.
Oh Lord, no, you got girl. But definitely stand by for 360 photos. She is up and coming. She is under construction. They keep sending her bits and pieces of the machine. It's almost here. We're gonna have removed events. And Tyra wants us to come in, post up. She got a couple of events as well. I will definitely give y'all that information when I got to go ahead, because I'm kind of anxious. I want to say it now, but I can't. Tell me to wait. I can't say it right now. And there's also a couple things that we all will be doing. So we will definitely catch y'all next week, same time, same channel on the eveningrushnetwork.com, whether on the app, whether on YouTube, or whether on online. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you, Miss Leslie.
Thank you, guys. You've been a blessing. God bless you all, and God bless the show.
Thank you. We appreciate
you.
Have a good one, everyone.
Have a good night, all.
Good night.
Queens of New York Podcast.
We're back.
Y'all queens are looking awfully lovely today.
Thank you. I'll be trying.
We ain't come to play today.
It's the lips for me on you.
It's the lips on me for you to hear that. Envy came through with
applying a little pressure. We got to apply a little pressure today.
I don't know if they ready, y'all.
Don't come for us.
How do you spice up your love life with or without toys?
Nice, slow, simple, mellow.
No judgment here. Yeah.
He was trying to do with that toy. I'm going to take it easy.
Spice it up.
Any suggestions when using different toys and stuff?
A little bit of lube.
Playing with your nipples, sucking on your neck.
Oh my God.
You won't need nothing if it's hitting.
Naturally juicy, naturally wet.
Right? I ain't trying to be out of order.
I'm a pleasurable treat.
Don't be afraid to incorporate your partner into the play.
Get into it.
And that's
the way they advertising this role, we might not need extra partay.
It's Monday.
Real, raw, and uncut queens. Live